Freshman Nobody by Tweed Jefferson. Read by the author. Hey, do you remember Tyler? Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while. Why? He's dead. Crashed into the side of the hill up by the lake. I heard he was drunk. What? He didn't even have his license. Yeah, I guess he took the car to go see his girlfriend while his parents were gone. Weird. I should feel something about this. Sadness or whatever. Tyler and I were best friends for years. Before junior high. Then we got put into different classes. He found a new group of friends and so did I. While my friends are all a bunch of nerds like me, Tyler started hanging out with the troublemaking crowd. They tried to start a gang and asked me to join, but I said no. It seemed kinda dumb. We could blame the alcohol, or the fact that he was an underage driver. Most people will. Still, we never think it will happen to us. To someone we know. We're just kids. Death should be reserved for old people. What's the point of following all the rules if we can die at any moment? There are so many things I haven't done, that I haven't been allowed to do. I wouldn't want to die not having accomplished anything in my life. I haven't even had sex yet. I spend so much time trying to please my parents and teachers that I don't even know who I am. All of these adults have told me how to think, how to feel, how to act. It's like I'm always wearing a mask, trying to fit in, to play the part I've been assigned. Adults treat me like I'm stupid. Not just me, all of us. Like we're not capable of understanding things like sex or love or death. Just because we're young doesn't mean we can't think for ourselves. When you ask them to explain something, they won't do it. Or they can't. I'm old enough to know by now that I shouldn't believe something just because an adult says it. If they can't justify their rules, the only reason I can see for them to exist is to control us. A need to assert their dominance. Obeying and regurgitating the same beliefs and statutes for generations without ever stopping to question the reason behind them. Never wondering if there might be a better way. Chapter 1. There's no air conditioning on the bus. 90 minutes each way. That's almost 3 times what it was last year. It's a long time to sit here by myself and stare out the window. I've already seen this drive enough times to predict every turn in the road with my eyes closed. Sean gets a ride to school with his dad, who works in Oakhurst. All of my other friends ride the second bus. There are 2 buses that pick up kids who went to our elementary school, number 12 and number 8. I don't know how many buses they actually have. This high school has kids from 6 different schools. Raymond, Oakhurst, Bass Lake, North Fork, everywhere within a 50-mile radius. When I was in Little League, we'd go to these schools for games. There's something strange and exciting about being at a different school when you've only gone to one school all your life. Just going to the bathroom feels like a new, slightly naughty experience. I've been to Yosemite High School before, for baseball games and stuff. It looks different from this angle. The dusty, yellowed fields, the part of the school I'm most familiar with, sit off in the distance at the bottom of the hill. Above the parking lot where a mass exodus has come forth from rows of yellow buses, mounds of concrete sprout from the dirt like bulbous teepees every few hundred yards. Spattered down the hillside are rows of portable classrooms, intended to be temporary at first, but permanent fixtures for the last decade or so, judging by the chipping gray paint and assorted graffiti. There's no organization to the classroom numbering. They're lettered and numbered by department. But some rooms are used for various classes throughout the day, and the portables are not grouped together in any logical manner. One class is in 914, but there are only 3 rooms in the 900 building. The next class is in DT 109, a drafting class and a row of portables, between the health class and algebra. I've deduced that the 100 through 900 buildings are the cement circus tents, and the letters mean a portable trailer. I haven't seen any of my friends yet today. I don't have any classes with Sean, Eric, or Adam at all this semester. The 4 of us have been in the same class for the last 2 years. In junior high, we had periods, but they were all in the same classroom with the same teacher. Only in the afternoon, after lunch, did we leave that room for an elective. We always took the same electives, though. In 3rd period, I sit next to Brent. We're at the back table of the auto shop warehouse. He's kind of the outsider in our group, Brent. He has long, red hair thinning like an old man's, draped over his trench coat. It's August. He's always playing with knives, too. That's why we don't usually invite him over. And he shot me with a BB gun once. And puked red vines all over on our 8th grade trip. I think he hangs out with Eric sometimes. They both live in the Indian Lakes area. Brent has an acoustic guitar, and he's plucking at the strings while the teacher is explaining the class syllabus. We're sitting at the back of the room, and it's hard enough to hear what he's saying. If I ask him to stop, he'd probably start cutting into the woodblock table with his pocket knife. Brent's guitar makes a loud clang, and a cloud of white dust appears in front of us as a chalkboard eraser bounces off the strings. "Put it away!" the obese, bearded man bellows from across the room. Brent shoves the guitar back in its case and flips the teacher off, but it's too late. He's already looking away and swearing at the computer on his desk. "I'll print out the first assignment as soon as I can get this damn computer to work. Just talk amongst yourselves." After waiting a minute or two, looking at the 30 other faces, hoping somebody else will do it, I get up and walk over to his desk, offering to help. There are like 97 jobs in his print queue. First, I cancel all of those. "Sorry, Mr. Monahan, but I'm not going to take the blame when it spits out 1,000 copies of your assignment. The print drivers aren't loaded." Simple fix. 2 minutes later, the worksheet on how to check tire pressure is coming out of the laser jet. I'm not making any friends by helping the teacher, I'm sure. They'd rather just sit and talk for the next 40 minutes. Dumbasses. We just have to make it up later. Monahan offers to pass me on the assignment and the next several assignments if I help him with some other computer problems he's been having around the shop. I'd rather learn about cars than fix computers, but I don't think I have a choice. I don't want to get on his bad side on the first day. My next class is in 806. I go to the building nearest my first class, 914, and it's the 800 building, but it's the administration office. After waiting in the crowded lobby with a dozen other students for about 15 minutes, the gray-haired lady compares my class schedule to the laminated map on the counter in front of her and tells me the class I'm supposed to be in is all the way across campus, in a portable. I'm already late. They don't have a cafeteria at this school. No hot lunch trays or salad bar, no little cartons of milk. There's a Subway Express counter at the top of the hill by the student store. Even if I get a sandwich, there's nowhere to sit. The 3 or 4 picnic tables scattered around the dry grass are occupied by throngs of juniors and seniors shouting excitedly at each other. Exuberant reunions of band geeks and cheerleaders alike. In addition to Letterman jackets and gym shorts, the student store sells chips and candy. I get a Baby Ruth and a Butterfinger. That'll be my lunch today. Eric and Sean are in the driveway down below. When I get down there, I suggest we test out the standing group theory. We've determined that any group of 3 or more standing in the middle of a crowded space will grow exponentially over time. Within a couple of minutes, Adam shows up and our circle expands. Next, Brent pushes his way into the group, leaving his ragged guitar case in the walkway behind him. By the time the bell rings to summon us to 6th period, the crowd of teenage boys has grown to 9, completely blocking the asphalt driveway. I walk with Eric down to the row of portables by the bus depot, continuing our discussion about the latest first-person shooter game. I have math and he has health, 2 rooms over. Math is boring, but not as bad as 7th period. English. I like to read, but Romeo and Juliet? Jane Eyre? I'm not looking forward to this semester. I've heard the other class gets to read The Catcher in the Rye. The teacher shouts at everyone to sit down and shut up. That seems to be the staff mantra here. Everyone is excited for the first day of school to be over, and it's almost 3 o'clock. On the bus, I bum a cigarette from Lindsay. She sometimes babysits my brother and sister, and we'll sneak out for a smoke together after she puts them to bed. She gave me my first cigarette last year. I feel guilty, always asking her, but I don't know how else to get them. None of my friends smoke. My family hates smoking. Both of my grandpas smoked, and they're dead now, but I still like it. It's about a mile walk from the bus stop to my house. I try to hurry. I've got less than an hour before my mom gets home. If I get back quickly, I can smoke this cigarette and then wash my hands and brush my teeth. I can't smoke out here by the road. Someone might drive by and see me and tell my mom. I get dizzy a little bit when I take the first drag. It's still summer and hot out, but the smoke feels cool in my throat. I hear a noise up by the house and I press the cigarette into the dirt in case my brother comes out looking for me. After waiting, frozen, for a minute and not seeing him looking down from the back patio, I grab the butt and hurry up the hill to stash it in the outside garbage can. I can hear the series of engine revs that indicate someone is coming up the driveway. My mom's friend, Jim, gets out of his car and calls out to me with a wave. I nod to him and go through the back door, into the house, hoping to avoid an awkward conversation. He's such a phony. "Hey Nick, Jim is here," I yell down the hallway. He comes half running, half skipping through the house and opens the front door. Jim shows up sometimes and rides the horses with my brother. Most of my mom's friends show up about once a week when she's not here, pretending to be looking for her, as if they don't know when she's here. Or maybe they came by because they needed to borrow some eggs. Never mind the fact that the store is a shorter drive from their house. It's pretty obvious why they're really coming over. I'm just finishing my homework, which isn't much on the first day of school, when I hear my mom's car racing up the driveway. I cringe, no telling what she's going to be yelling about when she gets home. Today it's laundry. Get up off your lazy ass! I told you I wanted the laundry folded and put away. I was going to, I'm just finishing my homework. When I leave a list, I want it to be done when I get home. Where are your brother and sister? You know you're responsible for them when I'm gone. I expect you to set the example around here. They're in their room, playing with toys, I tell her. She opens the door and instructs them not to come out. From the hallway, she yells at me to finish the laundry and then stay in my room until dinner. A few minutes later, my brother comes into our room and closes the door. She told him to wait in here while she walked Jim to his car in the driveway. I'm 3 or 4 levels into a new game of Shining Force when the phone rings. I don't hear my mom call out that she's got it, so I run to the kitchen to answer. It's one of my mom's friends. I open the back door and lean out to yell for my mom. I told you to stay inside! She screams from next to Jim's faded blue Pinto, where they're both leaning side by side against the passenger door. It's Cheryl, I call back. Get inside! Tell her I'll call her back. I hang up the phone and go back to my game until I hear my dad get home. My mom's in the kitchen now, heating up some hamburger helper. Dinner is always when he gets home, so we all come out of our rooms and find our designated chairs at the table. I eat silently while my siblings, wide-eyed and grinning, tell him about their first day of school. Freshman year is going to suck.